Union of relationships. This is where we're starting to get down to who are we, what is this about, and getting more and more concrete. So, any volunteers, or should I just start calling tables? Here's Sean. He's going to get started.
I've got a great group, and learned a lot from them and with them. And I guess what we love across the board. No one was really in our group taken back or in resistance to the movie, to the YouTube clip. In fact, a lot of people said, "Oh, I was just at an event the night before where this neuroscientist from Yale was saying the same thing," and then someone else chimed in. The keys that came from our group is that letting go of judgment of self and others is really key to being able to be more aware of that interconnectedness. And out of that, our emerging vision really came in the idea of being or beingness. And how we're all called to really step into our own beingness and our collective beingness.
Our group talked about a lot of things, but the power of the energy when people are together, praying together, being together, and centered on love, positive feelings, the very power of that energy to change. We said we become a better version of ourselves when we journey together rather than alone. And we just talked about the interconnectedness of all life, not just human life, but all life. Thank you.
When we started, the first thing that came into our minds was the fact that the speaker talked about different religions. But for us, prayer is so important. Our spiritual relationship between God and me, and God and you. And how it's a 360 circle all the time. The other that we visioned is when we talked about the lay holiness movement, how so important that is for us as CSJSL. So we really did that. We talked about that. The one that we really came up with is, again, our relationship with the dear neighbor. But we took it a step further. We always talk about our relationship with the dear neighbor without. We changed it. Sisters, don't get upset. There was a sister at our table. We changed it to the relationship with our dear neighbor, no matter what. Because sometimes, as we talked about it, it's an appearance, it's the way they talk. We need to love everyone, and that's so very hard for all of us. So we're looking at no matter what.
So we were all good Catholics. We didn't change anything. A couple words that really sounded off when we started was knowledge and acceptance. And we kind of came up with a little thing that I could read and say. And we thought, to start with, you have to have the desire and the vision to want the relationship that we have with God, or that we want with God. And through that would drive us to the charism of the dear neighbor in communion with the CSJs, meaning, as associates, if there's not CSJs, then so that's when we went there. And the other thing that we kind of talked about in the beginning was a little bit, and I said knowledge and acceptance, a little bit of knowledge. When they started talking about Hinduism and Buddhism, I kind of got driven on the edge of my seat, and I'm like, okay, I'll buy. What's that all about? And the way it was presented was a little bit of knowledge, and you're like, we share that with them. And then when she started talking about Christianity, I kind of got a little bit closer, and I'm like, okay, because now I want to hear what the Buddhists and the Hindus hear about Christianity. And we all kind of resolved that it's all the same, just a little bit of knowledge. So that's what we had. The part of resistance was a little bit when she got into the quantum physics. We all kind of thought, oh, this is going to lose me here, because you're going to have to really break this down into working persons. And we all decided that she did. And we understood that, but that was the only resistance.